Hi guys, Anthony here from The Hot End. In this episode I'm going to show you a new device from Xiaomi, the Xiaomi Air notebook. Okay, so Gearbest were nice enough to send me over one of their new notebooks. I've read online and I've seen all the specs, and it is dubbed the iPad Air Killer. It is done this for a few reasons. If you have a look at the machine, hopefully you can see how thin this is, and the size, the weight. The weight is next to nothing. It is as thin as. Specs wise, it's got a 13-inch screen. The CPU is an Intel i5 2.3 GHz dual core. It boasts a 256 gig SSD hard drive, 8 GB of DDR4 memory, and you can also undo the base and pop in another SSD, unlike the Apple variants. Been using this for a little while. Probably about 2 weeks, and I'm actually very impressed with the machine. Its few drawbacks, I'll quickly get them out of the way. It comes with Windows 10 Chinese edition, so unless you speak Chinese, you're going to need to reformat and reinstall a copy of Windows 10 English version or any of the Linux distributions you like. I've played with Ubuntu and a few of the others, but I actually had a spare copy of Windows 10 floating around, so I just installed that, and now it is golden. The other drawback is the power supply is Chinese, so you just need to get an adapter. They're on Amazon for literally $1, and then yeah, you're good to go. I've done all the benchmarks and everything, which I'll be showing now. It performs very well in all the categories, but the thing that surprised me most is this is not a gaming laptop by any means. But I thought, well, why not just give it a push? And I installed Battlefield 1. Now Battlefield 1 only came out I think this year, so it is a very new game, and obviously you're not going to be running at full HD ultra graphics because that's just not what this machine's for. I ran it at 720p at low detail, and I was still getting between 50 to 60 frames a second, which is most certainly playable. The keyboard is backlit, the keys are a nice quality, the whole unit is aluminium. None of this plastic rubbish. I initially thought that it was just going to be a rip-off clone, but the more I'm reading, the more I'm finding out that a lot of the factories in China are actually on cutting-edge technology, meaning they're designing products which other people are starting to rip off. For instance, most of the Apple stuff is made in China, obviously. Just because something is Chinese made, don't think that it's rubbish clone. There are some gems amongst the other products. This is one of them. This will be used daily by me. I'll just scroll down to some of the specs. So it's got the 13.3 IPS screen that does a 1920 by 1080p full HD picture. The picture is beautiful on it. Nice. I think it's a glass screen, very glossy and very high quality feeling about it. 250 gig SSD built in standard, and as I said, you can open it up and pop in an external or a secondary SSD if you need more storage, which you can't do with the Apple MacBook. It's got two USB 3 ports on one on each side. Hopefully you can see one here and one on this side, as well as the new USB Type-C. Now the USB Type-C port is supposedly 10 times faster than USB 3, and we're going to see more devices adopting this technology coming out, so you've got a little bit of future proofing there. You've also got a HDMI output on the side, so you can pop this into a bigger monitor or bigger screen, and obviously use it with an external keyboard and mouse if you're gaming. It's got a 5400 milliamp hour battery, which they claim lasts for about 8 hours. In my testing, I've got 5 to 6, but I'm a fairly heavy user, so that's okay. That's quite good. Obviously, all the standard stuff, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything's built in. And you've also got a front-facing camera for Skype calls and things of that nature. You might be thinking, why don't I buy a MacBook Air? Well, a few reasons. A lot of people don't like Mac. I actually do, but a lot of people don't like Mac. and essentially it is the exact same hardware as this puppy. Now this is $783 US currently on sale. A MacBook Air of the same or lesser, I think it's even lesser specs if you go through them all. I'm pretty sure it's only got a 128 gig SSD for the MacBook Air base model. They're looking at $1,600, so this is less than half the price of a MacBook Air, and you've got all of the quality as well as Windows 10. Now at the end of the video I'm going to just play a heap of the benchmarks that I ran. They're going to be a bit boring to just sit through and watch, but they're there if you want to get some of the nitty-gritty facts and information. But like I said, the thing that blew me away the most was that this thing is not designed to be a gaming machine at all, but you can. So to have something of this tiny form factor that you can go and play Battlefield 1 on and still get decent frame rates and a decent experience, granted it's on low, but that's fine, that's just phenomenal for the money. I'm actually going to buy a second one for my wife because she already got dibs on this, so I need one myself now. The big thing that sets this apart from the MacBook Air is this actually has an NVIDIA 940MX GPU. The MacBooks use just a standard Intel integrated graphics. This has a dedicated GPU. So not only is Windows nice, fast and snappy, for day-to-day use, doing video editing, browsing the internet, doing everything that you do on a computer these days, including gaming, I think you cannot go wrong with the Xiaomi Air 13-inch notebook. You can get this at Gearbest. I am not affiliated with Gearbest. They do not pay me for a good review. They are just sending me products to review, and I am very, very well in my rights to tell you if the product is crap. This is very well built. The specs are amazing. It lets you expand the internal memory, which the Apple will not. And if you really wanted to use Apple, I'm pretty sure you could put Hackintosh on this anyway. Not that I condone that kind of thing. For $783 US, give it a crack. You won't be disappointed, but just remember, it comes with Windows Chinese edition, so unless you speak Chinese, you're going to need to reformat and reinstall, which is a no big deal, 20 minutes. I do that as standard practice on any new machine anyway, to get rid of all the bloatware. Now that, well, Windows 10 comes with enough anyway, so I don't want Norton and all of the other crap on there that most people install from the factory. So just do a fresh install of Windows 10 English version. Get yourself the travel adapter, which is, like I said, $1. Works fine. I've got no issues with the machine. It runs beautifully, and as you see from all the benchmarks and things that I'm playing now, it performs very, very well. Anyway guys, I hope you like this different kind of video. I'm trying to get away from 3D printing, not totally, but I want to get into more tech. So if you like this kind of thing, let me know in the comments below. And again, I am not paid by Gearbest in any way or shape or form to give them a good review. This is actually a really, really good product. So check it out and let me know in the comments below how you go. They are selling like hotcakes, I am told. So jump in fast before the sale ends. Alright guys, thanks. I'll see you on the next video. Ciao.